Sphinx him.
I didn't, but I did get to Thing in the Ice. So.
Cool. Thing in the Ice was things very good.
Both games I got him to 3 lives.
Yeah.
And then he's just been like, okay.
I now win the game.
Draw. Double fucking part the water veil. 80 zombies. Whatever, I don't care.
That's how the deck works.
Alright,
All my zombies have haste, yeah.
so...
There's mirror balls in the sideboard.
No, they were in my deck.
Oh. At least your mana base is consistent, right?
Or just fucking islands.
Islands.
Right, so if you've seen the list before on the NGGO list, this list is extremely similar, but it's been slightly tweaked. So your staple cards are Rise of the Tides, Part the Water Veil, and Brain in the Jar. That's pretty much the engine. When it comes down to removal, you can kind of play with it. You don't need to run 4 of each of these cards because you don't need to. You can kind of free up 2 slots. So I just run 2 hard counters instead in Void Shatter. You don't need 4 pieces of the puzzle because this is like the worst cantrip in the deck, I think. You can fill your graveyard a lot easier with this. Due to you can just be like fail to find and stick 2 extra sources and instants in your grave. But because you lose out on lands, it can really screw you. Because you're like, I need a land, and you just see 3 lands go off the top. You're just like, that sucks. So you don't need 4 of those. You run 4 Nagging Thoughts, 4 Anticipates, because they are probably some of the best cantrips like in the format right now. I run 2 Center Sleep as well. There are like some lists that run Grip of the Royal and what's the other card? Mainly Grip of the Royal, I think, actually, but I run Center Sleep instead because I just feel it's better and it's a bit more consistent on mana because you have to cast something to tap 1 creature where you can just do this, and yeah, okay, you don't get to draw a card, but that's fine. Engulf the Shore is insane. Your mana base, I run 3 majoring networks and 2 mirror pools, and then literally I think it's 18 islands. 23 lands in total. This, you don't want to draw too many of these, even though this is great because it makes you like ramp towards this earlier because you can, with 12 mana, you can just combo off naturally instead of having to have Brain in the Jar. So if people do destroy your Brain in the Jar, it doesn't matter. Just try and get to 12 mana and go off. That's why I also run Jace's Sanctum. I run 2 of. It makes your Void Shatters counter spells with Exile. It makes Anticipate 1 mana. Makes Nagging Thoughts 1 mana. Makes this 3 mana. It makes your combo 2 mana less. So it's really useful. And also, essentially, Anticipate becomes 1 mana. Look 4 cards deep in your deck because you have to scry off the Jace's Sanctum. This card actually is really fun to use. It does come in and out of the sideboard a bit because it can be a bit of a dead draw against some matchups. So you rather have like a Sphinx of the Final Word. Which I'll get to in a sec. These are kind of flex slots. I run this because it's another alternate win condition main deck game 1. You just bounce everything. Also bear in mind that Jace's Sanctum makes that 4 mana to bounce everything with an 8 Octopus because that affects surge costs. So it becomes hilarious. It's also, yeah, that is true. Like the Displacement Wave was in the sideboard, but I swapped it because I felt there were going to be a lot of tokens here tonight. So with this, you literally go pay 2 mana, bounce all tokens in 1-drops, which is insane with this. So it's like, and also doing this for 2 to bounce all tokens is really useful. So that's why I ran this instead of a second crush, but you could also run a second crush depending on your meta. So basically, like the list is very stock compared, like if you compare it to the MTGO article. It's just there are a couple of slots that really can be flexed with, like Grip of the Royals is 1. A couple of like you can make this a 3 of, you can make this a 3 of, you make this a 3 of. So that's instantly 3 slots that you can fill very quickly. You don't want to go low on Engulf the Shores because it's so good with your mana base. With regards to sideboard, my sideboard runs 2 Negate, 4 Thing in the Ice, because game 1, you don't play any creatures, and everyone's going to have dead removal in their hand, so they're going to start siding out spot removal. Now bear in mind this will change depending on if the deck is known. If the deck is known, people are going to start like siding, they're not going to side it out. But Thing in the Ice is great because you just go off and it makes a 7/8 that bounces everything. 2 Sphinx are the final word because card is nuts. It makes your combo uncounterable and you can just go ham. And it's a great blocker and it also has hexproof, so it's really difficult to get rid of. Double Languish to get rid of it. I'll take it. 1 Displacement Wave in the board, 1 Grip of the Royal. That's flexible at best. I just put it in there because I swapped it out for that. 2 Disperse. Gotta get rid of those Planeswalkers somehow because they suck. 2 Dispel and a Void Shatter, but I'm tempted to make this an Ulamog. Just for the fun, because it seems hilarious. So that might become an Ulamog when I get one. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck. It's really basic. Like there's a 4 million Energy Salvation. There's, like I say, just look up Mono Blue Brains from Saffron Olive. The deck is pretty much there. The deck is super cheap as well, which is really good. Like it's like literally I got this all for like 16 quid, and then made some trades into some of the other stuff. Part of the Water Veil has spiked, I think, because of it. It was now I got these for like less than £1 each, and now they're like £3 each. So that it may have spiked a bit, so maybe close to like 30 quid. But if you want to get in a standard, just to play and have some fun at F&M, the deck is actually competitive, which is even more funny.
If you feel like dicking on 300 quid's worth of bank company for 10 quid.
Can't say I'm not satisfied with that. Like, yeah, but this is hilarious because you just get so many extra turns.
I mean, to be fair, you do have to play against some.
The other thing as well, you got to be careful with this. This is the only thing that this is because you have to have Majoring Network out to get the benefit of it. It can be a little awkward to use because you have to have a colorless mana. But at the end of the day, like when you do get it, it kind of just goes ham. So I might be around, so I'll check the chat in a minute if you have any other questions, and I'll probably answer them. But it's a fun deck.
I've genuinely been looking for a semi-competitive deck that's simple-ish because I started teaching my girl.